Hi, I'm Schade from the Human Computer Interaction Lab at the University of St. Gallen. I will be presenting our paper MapUncover, Fostering Spatial Exploration Through Gamification in Mobile Map Apps that I did together with Gian-Luca Savino, Jasmin, Niess and Johannes Schöning. Before I start to go into depth, what are our contributions? First, we introduce a gamified mobile map app that is proven to boost spatial exploration and learning. On this basis, we were able to find design recommendations for current mapping applications. Nowadays, navigating in environments unknown or known to us has never been easier. All you need is a device capable of running a navigational interface. Actually, wandering around became a premium activity. The interfaces are designed for efficient routing. However, following instructions leads to degrees in spatial knowledge, while active exploration can counteract on these effects through active learning. We know that there are a lot of location-based mobile games that proactively incentivize users to explore in the context of gaming, whereby the focus does not lay on the environment itself, but the game. Pokemon Go, Ingress Prime or geocaching are some examples for it. So how do we bring users to actively explore? Well, in games, there's even another approach, fostering exploration through the so-called fog of war. It works by limiting the stream of information of the surrounding area for the player. One early example for it would be Age of Empires. Players need to walk through every part of the map to actually unlock the information. This concept has been used for years and is now common practice in games of many genres. So why don't we use this approach for the real world? For this to actually work in the real world, we utilized XYZ tile-based raster maps to unlock a map like a puzzle. First, we have the geolocation, which we then convert to raster coordinates, and with which we then update the map according to the tile that has been visited. In short, the development process was built on first prototyping, where we chose to build it as a Flutter app. Then we had a pre-survey for map designs, followed by the thorough implementation of the features. Then we tested the app in a one-day pre-study and followed it by the public app release. Mobile games can promote exploration, but the question remains which game elements enable such behavior and how can we apply them to mobile map apps? In addition to the unlockable apps, we integrated a reward system in our app to create initial interest using gamification elements like goals, achievements, and points. To encourage long-term engagement, we facilitated social interaction through social competition and provided challenges, knowledge and skill improvement through exploration elements. At the end, we came up with the map, the achievements with statistics and ranks, the leaderboard for competition with some filters, and the store for customizations. We wanted to make the map usable, but still use the fog for design. So we only distinguish between green spaces, water, and the rest of the map. Through the pre-survey, we came up with these 4 designs, whereby the paper and dark mode have been overwhelmingly preferred, whereby we made them all purchasable in the store. But how does it actually look in the real world? For this, we wanted to show 2 examples to actually communicate the idea behind it. In this example, the user explores a park as part of it was unlocked on their way from the main street. Now, when she unlocks another tile, previously it was just a green space. Now more information about points of interest was made available to her. The museum looks interesting to her, so she walks into that direction. We chose the size of the tile as large as this, so users actually would explore and don't look at their phone all the time. Another short example is the counter effect on repetitive routing. She usually walks the next street, but since she saw which area she has been to now, she decides to take the parallel street instead, actively building up spatial knowledge about her surroundings. So we want to find out, how do gamification elements in a mobile map app affect spatial exploration behavior? Do they increase participants' motivation to explore their environment compared to common mobile map apps? Does active usage result in an improved self-perceived spatial knowledge? Are participants unfamiliar with their environment generally more motivated to explore it? We conducted it as an exploratory study by publishing it to the Google Play Store, whereby we limited it to users in Europe over the age of 18. Another constraint was our collection period of 83 days for the study. So the exploratory study has had no limitations, so there have been users that didn't actively explore. So we set a threshold, and participants that actually finished the study Only 22 of them met the threshold, whereby 16 of them have been male, 5 female, and 1 undisclosed. 5 of those have been directly acquired by us, and 13 interviews have been conducted. Participants were mostly located in Germany, and cities whereby Bremen and Hamburg have been the most active cities. Similarly, you can see in this heat map of users that met the threshold, we had participants all over Europe, but the most active areas have actually been northern Germany. So the most active cities have been Bremen and Hamburg. The conference center is actually within one of the most explored areas. The most obvious explored surroundings were within the city center and around the areas where participants live. So what were the impacts on people's exploration behavior? Looking at the gamification itself, it was successful for users that knew their surroundings and also for those who didn't. There have been different experiences and behaviors. People that actually want to get to know their surroundings more focused on unlocking the map. Others used the leaderboard and statistics as the opportunity to compete against others. This also resulted in a cluster of people in Hamburg signing up to compete against each other, which have been 7 users making it into the dataset. The gamification features opened participants to use it in a diverse way, which can be reflected on the prioritization. The subjective preference of features according to the feedback, interviews, and Google Analytics were able to convey a general preference, which laid on the map and the leaderboard, followed by the achievements. However, participants highlighted in the interviews that the styles like the dark mode instantly motivated them to explore, to buy it from their thereby collected coins. Some highlighted that they liked all the features as a whole and did not focus on just one. Compared to the baseline behavior, we know from common mobile map apps focusing on efficiency and familiar routes, we could confirm our approach to motivate participants to explore. The effects on spatial knowledge, on the other hand, were not significant. We based its validity on the Santa Barbara sense of direction test that came out insignificant. But through the surveys, we were able to measure a significant self-perceived improvement on the participants' familiarity to their environment. Similarly, users actually discovered new routes and places, and even meaningful places they now tend to visit again. While those cases have been isolated, it definitely hints at a tendency a longer and thorough study should reiterate on. So we confirmed its motivation for exploration behavior and couldn't confirm its effect on spatial knowledge. And similarly, we couldn't validate the impact of familiarity on their exploration behavior since we only had 2 new people who were new to their environment, and one of them filled out the survey before actually moving there. Modern map apps provide users with lots of information. However, they typically guide users along predefined routes with little variation, which limits their ability to build up spatial knowledge and discover meaningful places. To address this issue, we propose changes to mobile map apps to actually encourage exploration. First, we suggest to reinforce spatial knowledge by dynamically alternating routes, so actively suggesting new routes that don't inflict a large detour. Second, we established that the gamification can incentivize exploration. So we suggest to facilitate meaningful discovery through active engagement with the map data. People want to actively learn about landmarks and street names, which participants mentioned in our interviews. So we suggest making users actively visit the areas to see and learn about the landmarks before being overwhelmed by seeing them all at once. Lastly, we suggest to prompt users to visit areas they haven't been before, if they are in the area often but never visited their surroundings. So our takeaway, not all of those who wander are lost. Yes, gamification systems can foster active spatial exploration and strengthen people's familiarity, and we actually can adapt current map apps to foster more spatial knowledge acquisition by suggesting new routes, letting users learn about landmarks, and actively suggesting detours. For more details, please refer to our paper.